What is the role of finance in SAP? So what are the different activities? What are the business processes that a finance module will handle in SAP? If we go about this, so what usually a finance team does? What are the what are the tasks that a finance module will hold is recording of monetary value flows and inventory, because my inventory will also be having some value, right? For example, I bought a few raw materials, but I haven't manufactured it yet. Okay, that is lying in the warehouse. That raw materials is also of some value. If I sell those raw materials again, I can make money, but I use it for production purposes. That also has some value. Semi-finished product. That means it is half manufactured. So in a product manufacturing, you have to pass some 5 stages. Let us say the material is passed in 3 stages. So that is not fully manufactured. That is semi-finished material. So that also has some values. So all this will come under your inventory. And coming to the monetary, any cash payments, those are nothing but called as monetary. And coming to the value flows, so as an organization, you keep selling the valuable goods to your customer. You will sell your services to the customer. All this will have some monetary value. You expect a payment from them, but there is a movement of goods. The goods are also of a value. So that everything related to this monetary value flow and inventory evaluation, you have to do within your finance. So who are the stakeholders? Usually, as a finance person, every financial transaction, if you see, it is recorded in the form of debit and credit. If you sell a good to the customer, so your customer will be debited and your accounts receivable or your sales account you will credit it. Okay, so these are some of the common uh, this is one of the example for recording the financial transaction. I will not go into the journal ledger entries in depth, but end of the day, all financial transactions are recorded in ledgers. This ledgers will contain different journal entries. Now, depending upon my organization, I wanted to record different transactions in different books. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to record all the transactions and put them in one place. I will record them differently. Okay. And so I will record all the tax related information in a particular ledger. I will record all the input tax in one ledger, output tax in another ledger. I'll record all the bank related transactions in some other ledger. No, no, no. Within the bank account, if I do the transactions with a particular bank, record in one GL account. If I do the transactions with another bank account, record in a separate GL account. So, as a choice, organizations for their easier reporting purposes. So finally, we are recording all this information to prepare reports. If my reports has to be structured and if my reports has to give me the detailed analysis instead of just giving me the overall what are transactions happened, if I want a detailed reporting structure, I have to record the transactions also in detail in SAP. When I have to record transactions in detail, I have to maintain more general ledgers. I need to put more ledger books. If I have more ledger books, whenever I want to prepare a report, if I want, I can sum up this ledgers and I can finally prepare a report. But breaking down already existing ledger is not possible. So if your recording is in detail, your reporting will can also come in detail. So for that purpose, in an organization, roughly they will use around minimum 800 to 1000 ledgers. Every organization, they will minimum have some 800 to 1000 ledger books. And this ledger books is the place where they will record the financial transactions in the SAP system. It can be even more or less. That can be a possibility, but I am telling you the average global usage of ledgers in the SAP system. Now, this ledger books in SAP system are called general ledgers. And in short, they are also called GLs. And the ledgers, these are nothing but account books. So you'll call, people call them as GL accounts. So these are nothing but your general ledger accounts. Now, this ledger accounts, you will have, these are the this is the place where you record the transactions. But now in SAP, I have a challenge, uh, and I have an opportunity. Now, if there will be lot of customers, lot of vendors, it's not only I have to prepare the financial statements and submit it to my governments, but there are some unsaid rules. My customer will ask me customer statement. Can you give me the customer statement? What all transactions we had this in current month? Can you give me a detailed report? That is not a mandatory thing as per your government, but that is the requirement of your customer, and that is expected. Any business person, this is the basic need they expect. Same that goes with the vendor as well. For with a particular vendor, what are all the transactions that are executed in a particular month? Same with the material usage. As my organization, I wanted to effectively manage my materials inventory so that there will not be much wastage, and I wanted to know where the material movement or material wastage is happening, how I have to value my materials, and what amount of raw material I have to procure, what I have to keep in finished goods stock level. So everything I want in detail, and it's also having some value, and I'm wasting money for it. Okay, because when you buy raw material, it's not necessary everything will get converted into finished good. There will be some damage, there will be issues, there will be some scrap wastage will be there, machine wastage, or the materials will be wasted during the production process. Anything can happen. I want account of all of this. For that purpose, so now what, your customers want separate account books, your vendors want separate account books. Same way, I mean to say your account statements. You want a separate a detailed account statement. Your materials want separate accounts. Same case also applies for your assets. You buy assets in the organization. You buy lot of machinery. You buy buildings. You buy what different vehicles for transportation or whatever. So you own a lot of assets in the organization, and all these assets will degrade in value. Okay, they keep going on down and down. So today I bought a car in the first year for my office purposes. What happened in the next year? It will reduce in the value. In the next year, it further reduces in value. So this is a repeat process. Uh, every country will mandate, okay, this particular asset will, if it is an electronic gadget, a laptop, Indian government says 5 years, US government says 3 years. Different countries across the globe have different specifications of how they will depreciate a particular material. So that is more or less related to accounting people. So you don't have to worry about it. They will give the information to you. You just have to set up those details in the system. So you don't have to worry too much about uh, accounting knowledge. So now here, coming to this, so now we have to separately record the data for customers and vendors. Now, what SAP has done is the information that you record directly on the general ledger, you can you can also record the information directly on the general ledger. This is usually done. But apart from that, they they decided that whatever I am recording, instead of recording directly on the general ledger, I wanted the separate statements. So let me first record the business transaction that is happening with respect to customer on the customer account, vendor on the vendor account, material on the vendor account. So they wanted to record first it on customer. So for each customer in the SAP system, for each customer, you have, suppose there is a customer one, then there is a customer subledgers created automatically by SAP system. Subledger one. If you, how many number of customers you have in the system, in the backend SAP will create those many customers. And the list goes on. Like you will have more and more and more and more. And if there is n customers, you will have n customer subledgers created. What is the advantage of this is usually if I record all the transactions related to customer in one single GL account, if I try to get a customer statement, system will find a difficulty. It will just run into pages and it will be overload on the system. Instead of that, if for every customer there is a subledger account created. This is also a kind of ledger account only, but it is a sub account. So here first you will capture all the transactions and then later in the customer master or vendor master asset master, you will maintain a reconciliation account. This reconciliation account is nothing but the GL account. You will create a GL account finally where you wanted to reconcile all the data, right? That particular GL account you will assign to each customer. That is how all the data that is captured in this customers will flow back to the GL accounts. From each and every customer, the data in the backend, it is replicated to the GL account. This is called your subledger. Same way the subledgers are created for vendors, materials, assets, wherever the data is getting captured. And this is the reason in SAP, not only GL accounts are considered as accounts, your customers, vendors, materials, and assets are also considered as accounts. These are all put together. These are also called as all this put together. These are also called as accounts. If someone asks what are the different account types available in SAP, you can say the account types are in SAP, these customers are denoted by naming convention T. Vendors are recognized with the alphabet K. Materials are recognized by the alphabet EM. Assets are recognized with the alphabet A. GL accounts are recognized with the alphabet S. So all these are considered as account types in SAP. So all this put together, these are called account types in SAP. Okay. So these are the different account types and this is how you will capture the data in the SAP system. Now I'll continue further with the role of finance in SAP.